and the partners work with, we have tried to provide a definition to NbS, and I know it is not yet comprehensive enough. And what we have in our mind is NbS are efforts to protect, restore, and sustainably manage natural resources. In other words, these are efforts that use nature to solve nature's problems. Because nature may not deploy itself to solve its problems because of the immense human action. Otherwise, if nature was left alone, it can solve its problems without us human beings. But because we continuously put pressure on nature, its ability to reconstruct itself is compromised. So, WWF working with NbS and the other partners that I've mentioned have been implementing this for a couple of years now, including those who are aware about the critical issues around River Nyamwamba restoration, stabilizing the river banks, promoting collaborative forest management around the Zori National Park, building a buffer between people and the Rio National Park, whereby UA was given around 500 meters inside the park and the community give a kilometer outside. And those are planted with trees. Those trees are supposed to provide livelihood to the community neighbor in the park and also shields the park from deforestation in the future. So those, I could name so many of them, but because of time, I cannot continue beyond that. But as we prepare for this discussion, the main question or the elephant in the room is, how do we ensure that there is a fair, just NbS that delivers for nature, people, and climate action? And I am not going to answer that because we have a good panel that is going to help us delve more into this debate. I therefore thank you for listening and wish you a fruitful deliberation. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Simon, for those very beautiful remarks. Members, you have the question to answer by an eminent panel. So, at this juncture, allow me to welcome the representative of Emily, none other than Jalia Namubilo. Miss. She has a very good presentation. Jalia, I have to give me about 80 minutes. If you can hit it, I'll be very happy.
Thank you so much, Anthony, for steering this up. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. All protocol observed. I won't repeat it. Based on what has already been spoken about it by the previous speakers. My presentation, my name is Jalia Namdo. I work with Emily. For starters, Emily is environmental management for livelihood improvement, where it's a facility. We are a local NGO based in Kampala, and we implement work related on policy advocacy and influence on climate change and environment. I'm going to share a few insights on our experience working on NbS through the project which Simon has already talked about. This is the Triple Benefit Project. We gave that name, Triple Benefit, because it looks at benefiting people, climate, and nature. So that is why it derives its name, Triple Benefit. Simon has ably talked about nature and what nature has for all of us. We all believe that nature is vital for sustainable climate action. And looking at the problems that we have at hand, we believe that if we clearly sustain our nature, it can ably address the problems we have. Speaking about the photos that you see, of course, we have already seen that nature-based solutions are supposed to protect, manage, and restore degraded ecosystems. This could be either natural or the modified ones. But the key issue here, they should be addressing a societal challenge and benefiting people, nature, and climate. So at the extreme end, you see the buffer, that is an apiary buffer, and the societal challenge it was addressing was food insecurity. That was the photo was taken by Emily, but the intervention is undertaken by one of our partners, that is Katara, in the Kalmizu Landscape Hub. The elephants used to cross from the park and they store the food for the communities. So in terms of addressing that societal challenge, they did put that apiary buffer as one of the interventions to address it. Our experience in implementing the NbS, we did a desk review at Emily, which highlighted 3 risks or challenges that are attributed to the implementation of NbS. One is the limited knowledge gap, and in practice, we did recognize that there is very limited understanding, which probably makes it very difficult to implement NbS. The second thing is the sole and narrow implementation approach. We observed that most of the partners implement NbS differently. And for example, we did find out that the focus on societal challenges is basically in the ecosystem type, which presents an opaque lens to the right. Lastly is the limited funding. We did also observe that NbS are mostly financed by public finance, and the private financing, we saw that it could lead to commoditization. Commoditization, this simply means putting a price on nature. So as part of our interventions, our entry point in all this is advocacy. We are doing interventions, and one of them is the issue paper which we are developing. It is still work in progress. It is highlighting the issues on rights and NbS. And what we want to see, we want to explore strategies that can improve the implementation of NbS, but also look at the relationship between rights and NbS. Our findings are summarized in 4 dimensions. One is the unclear definition on NbS. We did find out that there are varying definitions on NbS, which probably makes it very difficult to interpret and understand it. Secondly, there are significant numbers of NbS are largely categorized under forest and freshwater ecosystems. Most of the partners are doing forest restoration, conservation, for example, in the Kalinzo and Magambo, then between Elizabeth National Park. Those are the sub-hubs we do work with, and their interventions are geared towards that. For example, Katara is one of the partners we implement with. They're doing restoration of invasive species, the nature-based enterprises like the apiary I've already talked about. Then now, the third finding is on is that the NbS lacks sufficient information on safeguards. We did find out that the indigenous peoples and local communities are not efficiently involved in the implementation of NbS. So that speaks to the limited knowledge and the low adoption. Then lastly, some of the NbS we did find out were linked to the violation of human rights. For example, a case I can give is the Batwa. The Batwa were evicted from their ancestral lands in the name of conservation. They were evicted, their landless, their procedure rights and access rights were infringed on. So they are landless, they don't have food, they don't have access to social amenities. So that really gives a very bad conception about NbS. And we believe that it can lower the adoption. Our key messages. One, where NbS remains highly misunderstood and misinterpreted, as you have already seen. Secondly, NbS designs should follow an integrated approach and implement a no-regret actions. In this, we advocate for maximizing the positive aspects, but minimize the negative aspects of NbS. Then thirdly, we want to see NbS tailoring needs, considerations, and features of the target groups and ecosystems. And lastly, we want to see the incorporation of safeguards in the design and implementation of NbS. That is a picture which we took during the interactions we had with the Batwa. Those are the focus discussions when they were really airing out their views. And wow, my last point here is to call up and do what you can really do to support them because they are badly involved. I thank you so much.
Thanks, Jerry, and thanks the audience for that good applause. The most difficult thing is I used to do a lot of policy work, but the most difficult thing is doing the actual practice in the village, planting trees. You plant, you spend money, they all die out. I come from Brambo myself, and we have a lot of challenges, as you know. Anyway, there's something I did not do. I did not introduce myself, but I did it on purpose because we are moving to the next session of the panel. Let me take this opportunity to say my name. I am known by the name of Anthony Walimbwa. I am an African holding a Ugandan passport. Yes, an African holding a Ugandan passport. Thank you so much. I'm East African. And I do coordinate the Climate Action Network in Ghana, I'm the national coordinator. So, just allow me to move to the next part of this session. We are going to have a panel. We have some little changes in the panel because I think about two of our panelists decided to delegate. So we have, I'll start from far away. I would like to invite Dr. Sayeda Ali Ahmed Khalil. You're most welcome, and I'd like you to take up your seat. Dr. Khalil is the he's the program manager for Red Plus from Sudan, Khartoum. Khartoum. So they pronounce it, I guess, Khartoum. Yeah, so she has quite a lot of experience in these matters. She's worked for the UNFCCC. She's a technical person in quite a number of aspects. And also, she's a member of the Sudan the government of Sudan, NBC, National Determined Competition and National Communication. In Uganda, we only have the NBC. Here they have the National Communication. So she's a member of that team. But she holds, I think, the substantive title of the Sudan National Red Cross Program Manager. Thank you, Doctor. You're most welcome. Next, we have a representative of PACJA, representing Dr. Mevita. I didn't get your name, but I can read it on the card. Yeah, Mr. Philip Gronzo represents PACJA. PACJA is the Pan-African Climate Justice Alliance. I'm sure when I say that I'm African in the Ugandan passport, you got very excited. Yeah, thanks so much. So we'll be representing Dr. Mevita. Then we have on the panel, we have the youth representative, because these issues cannot do without the youth. So Mr. Edwin Humza from Youth Government was supposed to be here, but he informed us that he's a bit tied up. So we have a legal substitute by the name of Madame Alison Nsima. Please come and take up your seat. Yeah. Please take up your seat. Thanks so much. Then at some point, I'll have Dr. Jibril Omdisha. I will give you 3 minutes. He has something very interesting. I've worked with the doctor there for quite some time, so I understand very much what he does. So, the plenary is going to take a very short time, about 20 minutes or less. And I don't have questions. So it's going to be a free will, freestyle. So I'm going to start with Dr. Halil to provide your perspective on nature-based solutions. I know you're an expert, you're an advisor. From what I see on the profile, in about maybe about 3-4 minutes maximum. So maybe I think you can take the yes. So take a shot at it, please.
Thank you so much, Chair. I would like to thank our youth and neighbors, Ugandan people, for organizing important session in nature-based solution. I think it is a high time to talk about the nature-based solution because Africa for potential for this issue. From my experience in negotiation, nature-based solution is very important because when we focus on the Paris Agreement, we find that is in decision CMA 5 related to the under the framework of the non-carbon market related to the Article 6.8, we find that they accelerating or they support the NbS because it is very important for local communities and it is mainly focusing on the nature-based solution because the nature-based solution focusing on the livelihood and for the benefit for the local communities and the biodiversity. As I said, that it is a high time to talk about the nature-based solution. From my experience in Red Plus, nature-based solution can be taken or supported by the indigenous knowledge or local knowledge of the people around the forest. My experience mainly in forestry. I am a forester in Sudan. Experience in communities around the forest. We find that there is a lot of indigenous knowledge, which is very important. It can be developed
or can be supported and then mainstream to the other areas. As we are African, we can exchange experiences in this issue. Also from my experience in Red Cross, we study a lot of issues related to the forestry, and we find that forestry in the issue of NbS. Forestry is the big sector, or maybe the father of the ecosystem in this issue. Studying the drivers of deforestation and the forest degradation, this is related to the communities and also related to the, for example, all countries, all developing countries related to or engaged in Red Plus, they study in-depth analysis of driver of deforestation, and also they assess the issue of social and environmental strategy issues also. This is may help or may use in this action for NbS. I think, as my colleague mentioned that in the presentation, we need to identify the NbS. This is very important, and also we need guidance and maybe some support, mainly the financial support. I think African countries, they have a lot of experience in this issue. If you take, for example, Uganda, we can find that there are different communities, they have local knowledge, or they have experience in how to accelerate this nature-based solution. It's very important for adaptation and mitigation, and mainly in the issue of adaptation. Conserving the biodiversity and water and soil and different issues related to these sectors in the ecosystem. Also, we find that in the Paris Agreement, in Article 5.2, enhance or reduce emission from deforestation and forest degradation. Also, the NbS, when we talk the NbS, we have to take the advantage of this side. There is a good experience, and the benefits, the non-carbon benefits also, we have to focus on it, this issue. And also the issue of the MRV, monitoring, reporting, or measure reporting and verification, is very important to have or to use this knowledge in the NbS. I think you can talk more.
Thanks so much, Dr. for those insights. Very, very useful insights on NbSs. I'll move to the youth. Alison. Yeah, where I sit, I receive a number of youth, and so you are doing a lot of stuff. So in about 2 minutes, can you show us on youth action on NbSs? I'm typing here.
Sure. My name is Alison Isima. I'm representing the youth on this panel. Now, the youth are a big part when it comes to finding nature-based solutions. Some of the things the youth are doing include advocacy, where we do campaigns in communities and encouraging them to use nature-based solutions. Because when we talk about ecosystems, it relates to them, it comes back to our mothers. And then we have what we call influencing policies. As youth, we are encouraging each other to take up positions in policy making, and also ensuring that these policies support nature-based solutions. For instance, we have conservative policies. Conservative policies include use of renewable energy. They include carbon offsetting. We have tree planting. We usually include, they're part of the green infrastructure, where we are saying plant more trees. Well, we are saying plant more trees in the communities, plant more trees in urban places, in our cities. Let's see green. because this is part of carbon reduction of carbon emissions. Then we have education. Youth are educating the communities, youth are educating the societies about what to do when it comes to natural-based solutions. We are saying as youth, we have online platforms. Let's use them. Let's use them to educate people. Is it TikTok? Is it Instagram? Is it Facebook or Twitter? Let's use it for creating solutions for bringing action for natural-based solutions.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all?
No, we're doing so much more. What we have is innovation and technology. One thing the youth do is get creative.
Yes.
And we have to get creative as youth. So we have systems that have come up where we get used to go into the field, but also use technology to be part of the natural-based solutions, including irrigation systems. We go to communities. For example, the NGO that I work with, we go to communities and set up irrigation systems for them to work with. And these are part of the technology. These are part of the technology that we are working with to create natural-based solutions.
Okay, thanks so much. See the youth. So the TikTok, see, my find this is a very serious thing. Myself, I trained in communications at some point, and you find just one youth has like a following of 10,000 people. So why can't we use those opportunities? So thank you so much. I take that very seriously.
Please do.
Yeah, thanks so much. Before I move to Pakja, I'm giving you 3 minutes, then I'll ask my neighbor from Pakja to close the panel. Doctor, come and take this. In 3 minutes, I'm telling you, you can see. You know, yesterday we are celebrating the World Soil Day. And this is how God had created this structure. That naturally, the environment was made to regenerate itself. But because of our activities, the following activities we came up with, that's why now we are finding it. We are now going back to the past. What do I mean? You know, nature-based solutions like regulating itself, reshaping itself. But if the competition from us is outweighing the rate at which the earth is regenerating itself, that's why we find it necessary. But in other areas, when you go to a forest right now, it is already visually. Meaning it was prepared, it had sunshine in the midday, now in the evening, it is already visually within the forest itself. What do I mean here? The overall objective is how we can bring back the earth that we have destroyed. How can we support it? You know, in biology, we talk about trees, the whole concept of trees and environment. These trees, they have what we call rhizospheres in their roots, where bacteria live. And these bacteria do help in soil aeration. You get soil aeration helps. Look at the goal to your soil. This is enough to keep the soil breathing. That you cannot only plant crops without a tree covering. The overall objective here is forestry programs. And as a tree grower, not that I don't practice medicine, I do. I'm just a graduate in pediatric medicine. But the overall concept is with us, sending the message to local people, take action. That if I plant my maize here, do I have coriander to plant here? Do I have arabisia to plant here? Because these trees were naturally there, and their existence will help the plants to grow very well in terms of soil expanding. So I will not hit more. We have what we call conservation of forestry programs, which is all about a large scale indigenous tree planting. We have urban forestry programs, which is on roadside. Uganda, as the country, we have very good structures where everyone is highly welcome. And as an organization, for our contribution to the UN decade on ecosystem restoration,
where I represent my country, Uganda, we believe that if every person can plant a tree and take care of it, we shall regenerate the earth itself. We are transforming from conventional industrial policy to green industrial policy. And I'm very happy that in our new plan, we have what we call energy transition, which will be highly on biogas and the alternative sources of energy than the charcoal and the firewood. Thank you very much.
Just hold on. You think it's the best way to go for Uganda?
In summary, as a country, we should also think about the balance, the afforestation efforts, and like outcompete the rate of deforestation. You know, if a tree planted today will need more than 10 years for it to make a forest. You plant, you have to take care. Most of people are planting seedlings, just seedlings of one tree. You are planting the tree that has spent 20 years in existence. But you know, we have cancer cells in South Africana medically, and our parents used to eat these trees, enjoy it in their backs. But right now, we cannot find a tree in the Marina, in the Boma, all we are degraded. So replanting them will cost us a lot of money. Whereby we need joint efforts from multiple partners from everyone, the WWF, the tree adoption Uganda, and everyone. How do you put efforts? Like we need more partners in this. Thank you.
I gave him was you know, I got into the medical doctor please say what's this guy doing? But thanks so much. And this you read the rest follow. So have like 6 minutes, and I'm going to dedicate those minutes to our dear friend from Hakja. Of course, I hope you stay in Kenya, an African based in Kenya. Thanks so much. So, what's your take on this subject that we're discussing? What's your experience in Kenya? What message do you take home from here as Africans? Go for it.
Thank you so much for this particular opportunity and for the extra 6 minutes. Of course, you know I'm a slow speaker. My name is Philip Kilonzo for purposes of introduction. I had a policy, advocacy, and communications work for the Pan-African Climate Change Summit. On behalf of Dr. Ndika, who did not make it due to earlier commitments. And let me begin by saying nature-based solution is the way to go. There is no other way to go, but it's the way to go. And in Kenya, we are having quite a number of actions focusing on the same in terms of restoration of degraded lands, restoration of forests, looking at the wetlands and conserving those wetlands. And also we are looking at how best rural live with farming community. The corridor created by DX, some of the initiatives that we are indeed implementing. Because we are next to the sea, and the sea is the largest sea for about 164 hours, we are also looking at mangrove restoration, supporting mangrove-based livelihoods such as apiary and fishing within the established forest. So the theme is much more broader. And of course, the president has all initiatives around the trees as final. Having said that, allow me to delegate as a policy activist, you are likely to again see evidence of this perspective and what we are not I think the first one that we need to look at is why are we looking to database solutions? First and foremost, the land was utility. But when you bring there and say, we don't find back. But we must interrogate the cause of it. Then we find security of land and something an act of
of diversity and therefore the passion. So you see that. And again, looking at the context of how we do when we have quite a significant there, a community of ownership where there is no security of tenure, then it goes us again to take the tenure, like within the context of this project. And also begin to tell critical questions which I come to later in terms of whether response measures are being put that change. And again, what's the need security of tenure? I come to that. What's the important we need to look at that. But women sit at the heart of them processes around the database solutions. And we must, first and foremost, respect the manner in which they interact with land. They interact with land in quite an interesting and in quite a sustainable manner within their own practices. And now I will open the discussions around database farmers, because most of the times that exactly the scenario in forest conservation. But for nature-based solutions, then we must be within the principle of expanding ecosystem, not just conserving the existing areas of conservation, but looking at how are we applying the nature-based solutions to expand the ecosystem. And I like it that we touched on quite a lot how are we. But let's look at the policy contradiction. What is the policy contradiction in this? Africa is sort of an experimentation ground in terms of potential, where we have indeed seen policies that are actually promoting monoculture, policies that indeed are pushing for large parts of land to be put under one single crop, which essentially represents the body of nature. But where again community practices. What we are also stating again is extensions that is not only are not falling, are not intertwining to give clear recommendation, clear guidelines, clear skills, skills to farmers in terms of they can do in a manner within their own context. And where again that is not conceptualized as current and future. So that conceptualization may be to address current and future farmers, then you start to use it right from the onset. And of course, farmers in Africa are already but this nature-based solution is certified in the language. Again, unless we are able to see how nature-based solutions are actually connected value chain processes, the agricultural sector, in terms of adoption and scalability of these initiatives. But allow me to now come to the elephant. The elephant in the room is again conversations around the chain, the database solution. Carbon markets are sort of database solution. What it is simplified to plant a tree that can grow very fast, sequester more carbon, attain a bigger EVA, shorter period, therefore you are in a more carbon force. That is not it. That's the point. But more important than there is no link to carbon credits, it's now the land grabs that are actually emerging active cases for irrigation or land that is actually as a result of application of carbon credit funding as a solution for scaling up investment in nature-based solutions. Therefore, as Pan-African Climate Justice Alliance, we are basically saying it is time to embrace the swap because carbon credit funding is paying for the investment. And then we are able to see Africa is where a chapter of carbon sector is and then we are able to think back and calibrate what kind of engagement we are in arrangement where even the big polluters are still continuing to pollute, then it's not very big to us. I think very finally, we need to go back and look at what kind of limitations are there as you are documenting. I'm a farmer from guidance, and I can tell you practically when it comes to reforesting, you go to a mine. If you don't have money, you can't do it, even on your own farm, because you go to pass and forward. Go to fix the level that is going to pay, probably the orientation of the system is more common. At least the support of the farmers, and with them afterwards, and governing what is inside as it is.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Now, it's a two-way business. What they call communication? Communication is if I speak one way, that's the number of communication. So for this case, we find a way. We have a good photo at the end of this session. So I have about 15 minutes for questions, and the questions from the audience about what the panelists have discussed, the number of issues that are covered, issues of human rights, and what education, issues of carbon markets. There are lots of issues that the panelists have presented here. Those are the guest panel presented by Javier. So at this time, I request the joining to do this. Whether you have to read it, you question it, critique, whichever you want to take it. Please hit it fast. Asema Ambo, Honorable Wakaya, Joshua, yes. Don't get your name. Moses, yes. And then gentlemen. So begin with Mr. Seman.
Thank you very much. My name is Mohammed, so I have just one. I think the parents have been very good, but mine is maybe just share experience. Those countries where we have issues with those land and power, they have the regulations in place. Because we are trying to put our regulations, that is the case. Then we need to pick back how we now make it that experience. And for the presentation we are made here, I saw the buffer for the beehives. And the question was protecting the area, not possible that I'm trying to put how to be so clear but possible. We can share more about that.
So, do you remember that?
Thank you very much, Mr. President. For this news, it's the way to be, and also support it, especially motivate our local operations, especially in the management. Because some of our local at first thought, hearing professionals to do something about climate change. So this concept here motivates them to act. And they don't need to overspread. They are within their work together to do something. That's why it's important. Thank you.
Thanks so much, John Arabo. Let's go back to back. But I have also rescued something later on because the regulator, the issues which have come up, prepare to address issues on
land grabs, issues of environmental safeguards, this subject. I'll ask you at some point. Yes, Joshua.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm Joshua from Abu, and I crossed the line twice. Yeah, you can hear that now.
Yes, so
I'm from Abu. So lots of discussions have been going on around native-based solutions, the policy frameworks around it, and the recent consultation with NbS in Nairobi. There was still good policies, especially around monocultures, issues of land grabs, and I appreciate the representative from Paracha commenting so much more on that. About 2 years ago, I followed the global discussion, global consultation with UIPN and UO, and was mainly looking at the solutions as particularly the right space approaches. And first of all, it's important to realize that NbS is not a new aspect, it's been in practice for a while. But it should prioritize local biodiversity conservation, the biocultural aspect of how people, the communities and the ecosystems. And another fundamental thing is that we should look at the unique aspect of an ecosystem. For example, if it is a forest, how best can we conserve or protect it? If it is a grassland setting, if it is a mountainous landscape, how best will this work? So I think it's also important that yes, the policy frameworks we need to set legislations or regulations that look at how best that look at conservation practices for each of these ecosystems. That way we don't want to thank you. So we don't need to have forest solutions where we are just planting trees where they do not belong, but we want to grow trees where they will thrive, where they will improve the soil quality, where they will sequester more carbon. So I think mine is more of a comment, and in case you're interested in learning more about the statement, you can, that's why I want to share something.
Thanks so much to everybody. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Nick Moses. I'm from Native Nations Provision for Forest Education. I'm honored to thank the panel for having this submission that they have given us. My question is to the representative from Factor. You talk about the linear system, and I believe it's the foundation of this of the whole natural distributions. But we have traditions in our countries. Uganda, Kenya, like the way you say that you hold passport, the African, but you hold a passport from one of the countries. So we have traditions, norms that have been followed for a very long time. I don't want to say the patriarchy because people might not have it that way, but that's the truth where we have the people that are holders of the land, and we never hold any land. And if we need anything that is going to be substantive in this setting up the solutions, we need people representation for aspects. Women of land, and I'm not just talking about women because I talk about traditions, I'm talking about having young people on it. Not easy, I think now. They find Joshua is a rich man, he's a bold land somewhere. Like someone who's not rich, going to wait for his father to die, actually have land, actually do something. So I wanted as the representative from Factor, what are you doing on those traditional norms? Make sure that you open up the environment all participants to take part in scaling up nature-based solutions.
Thank you so much for those good questions. The colleague in front. Pass the mic. Thank you, moderator. One. My name is Michael Kawala, director. Realize that in the midst of lack of documentation, historical of nature-based solutions, yet you the youth are championing this ecosystem. When you realize that there's a serious knowledge gap, and what you recommend, told your mother, please go and practice nature-based. What do you know about it? No documents, no standards, And as regards this, John, I appreciate your way you tailor the issue of nature-based solutions, bring them back to and so on. There are no case for players or formats. Bringing science and as well as modern technology, but whenever such practices are used, there's also a case for use productivity, production, variation, and so on. Otherwise, that when one way of nature-based solution, probably journey the sustainability never should have done.
Thanks so much, Mr. Mele. Again, we pass the line to Dr. Pastor. I guess you did the same, and a lot of matters that come up. Sometimes the last word on the street, it's so badly. Never believe that. I was really glad that. Okay, no problem.
Thank you very much, our dear panelists and guests. I happen to have been actually one of the negotiators at there ratifying for the first time this concept of nature-based solutions. And it took us a lot of time to know what nature-based solutions are. And like everyone has put it, really, nature-based solutions not a new concept in my view. Just that we are trying to come up with a conventional issue, but these are the things our grandfathers and forefathers have been doing to live in harmony with nature. Everything that preserves and conserves nature and adds value to transformation of society is a nature-based solution. And so we must look at the nature-based solution as the way to live our routine lives. We shouldn't look at it as a new concept from the rest or from anywhere. No. It's just to recognize that our way of life, our way of how to live with nature is now being recognized in modern science, in modern frameworks, and that's how we should treat it. And so, in my view, the issue is about land rights, human rights generally, the cheating, the lot of cheating when we talk about carbon trade, especially in countries. The middlemen are actually the ones benefiting our communities, our indigenous people, our land people are not benefiting yet. And this to the point, I cannot say the carbon trade at $50 and take it to the market and sell it at $10. Profit is more than the one who's there. So we must fight for our rights, we must fight for equity, and I think countries should not rush, into concluding nature-based deals before doing proper due diligence. You know, the reason the nature-based solution definition was brought to the United Nations Development Assembly was to pave way for business, was to pave way for commercializing what our forefathers have done for a long time for free, but now we are attaching a commercial value. And so we must do due diligence, we must not rush into these deals. What's important is for our country, for our communities, terms that are favorable because the market economy and the government is now going commercializing to its economy. And that's why the state must now, the regulators now, we must have policies in place before we launch into the deals. Once we have public policies, it will put in place safeguards to protect the and the indigenous from being taken advantage of. And in Uganda, we are taking that route. We do not want to rush
We have been here living in harmony with the nature, and we are going to be here anyway, living in harmony with nature. So we should take our time, understand the subject, use the best public policies that safeguard the rights of indigenous people and local communities and country interests, and then we can go and train in nature-based solutions when we are actually benefiting, not when we are very off. But nature-based solutions again, not be little, government. It should be how we have been living in our nature, and we should continue really look at nature as having the ability to solve most of the problems in our area. From as long as we do not stretch nature beyond its destruction point, nature will always provide the solutions. That's why we said, for as long as we do not prepare to the planet, our next step of training, the solutions will always be there. So we should espouse these solutions, which also talks to indigenous knowledge, indigenous knowledge, which our forefathers have had to document this knowledge and practices and commercialize them so that we can also make money out of these nature-based solutions. That way, we shall go to the table with clear demands, with clear offers, and with the
Thanks so much. Not that I was supposed to be on the speaker's panel, but I just feel good because for the reason. And thanks so much for his right on the head. Thanks so much. So thanks so much. So you gave us that international perspective and also the perspective of the resident and so on. So it enriches our discussion. At this point now, the panel has asked a lot of questions. You choose what to answer. 1 minute. Because we keep our time. Thanks so much. We'll start from Kenya.
Thank you. The questions are too many, but I think my colleague has been able to respond to the question elements. The majority of African countries do not have regulations. Kenya is just about to adopt its own regulations, but African countries are African countries. Yes, we must have that perspective. The imports around carbon. Only for the but also in terms of countries with active cases, not many the plus, but we have evidence. The participatory reasons, we have Zambia, we have Congo, we have Nigeria, those three. Unfortunately, again, there are limited companies that are based for not yet. But all that information is in the appreciation. I think in terms of whether it's science or whether it's knowledge, it's neither this nor that. It's actually a question of how you achieve that balance and really motivating. But when you go to nature, you will find there is a manner in which it is dangerous. Therefore, we take it back to the science study. Because sometimes when the science studies, the borders for the nature. So it's important for the scientists to study it before we give a proposition. I think on the land, the security timeline, and the norms, some of the norms were extremely constructive. Within Pacha, we may not have in on the land because we are climate. And we have this but where I was coming from, one thing looking at how to promote rights, broadly to land, but to land the natural resources, particularly in the Malaysia guidelines of the which again are quite useful in terms of promoting approaches to security of them. Thanks.
Thanks so much.
Hudson, just in 1 minute, what is it, 1 hour?
Okay. As we can see, it's important for us to keep information, especially information that is going to help our country. Now, when we, for instance, conserve conservation, we've been told to preserve wetlands, otherwise, because the control, otherwise, it shall happen in the I was asked, how can we control, how can we manage the knowledge gap between the older generation and the young and the youth? So, one thing we have to understand is, for us to understand nature-based solutions, we have to go to the grassroots of it. We have to be in contact with the people on the ground, even the farmers themselves. As youth, we aim at reaching the grassroots. We go to the farmers, interact with them, participate in the community events, such that we're able to get the right information and get the right stand of what we're meant to do and how to take out different policies and understand the thing. Then another thing that I thought would be really important is how to facilitate our knowledge exchange in order for us to be able to have the right platform with all the generation. We should be able to have the same knowledge. If we are talking to people in, let's say, in Monroe, we should be able to speak the same language. And then in Western Uganda, I should be able to speak the same language with them because these are different parts of our country. Then maybe one other thing is utilize the
As well.
utilize the knowledge, how we should be able to leverage digital platforms and be able to communicate with all the people. All these technologies in digital platforms, especially when it comes to information.
Thanks so much, Dr. Hari. And your last remarks.
Last 3 months, this the relation that support and accelerate business and also project business launch. Also, in the issue of the safeguard, I think digital is not going to be yeah, the issue of money. So we want to be working local communities, the ones, okay, additional.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much. We are around the families. Never end. We are coming to the last part of it. Items. Joy, you get ready? Just come beside. Just come.
Accurate buffer and prevent the elephants from destroying the goods from the interaction they have. The goods in high levels of productivity and production of food. So the logic is working for them.
When you have you see, the elephants don't deal with these because as small as they are, they don't cross the economy. Pardon? Mr. Chipotle, the last question, come on, the soul is good, the closing remarks, honorable go to the question.
Thank you. The science behind is that the noise of the bees, and then they are being exposed downstream into the airspace without long track and make the elephant and we can die if it goes to the city. So when we put the behinds and that data, the definitely run away, they will not come to them. Thank you.
So, members, thank you so much. On behalf of Emily, and on your behalf, would like to come to the close of this program. This conversation is going to continue. And yes, official name not before. So I would like to invite you for a photo session. Analysts, distinguished colleagues here, please, especially the lab. Kindly, what is the government transfer? So like, where is the government? Because Mr. Oregon, Peter, we have to account for your presence here, sir. Okay. And number three, is given us the other people. Okay,